Hi, so this is my book presentation, The Jurassic Park. So, Jurassic Park was created by Michael Crichton and it was published in 1990, and the movie soon after followed in 1993. So, the intro of the book, the story starts on a stormy night in a medical center on an island off of Costa Rica, and the doctor at the medical center was surprised with a helicopter branded InGen Constructions. The helicopter delivered a young man who was severely mauled. The doctor was surprised by how terribly mauled the young man was, and desperately tried to save him. But unfortunately, he passed away. And but with his last breath, he was able to whisper "hupia," which the word translated to a predatory bird. So at the same time, the Mike Bowman family was also in Costa Rica and was on vacation at beach. And their daughter went out and was looking for lizards and was suddenly attacked. Uh, at the same time, the family took her to the hospital, and fortunately, the daughter wasn't completely hurt, only a small laceration on her arm. When asked about who or what did this to her, the daughter replied with a description of an elongated neck and three-toed lizard. The doctors there was puzzled by this description, but soon after, some doctors looked at the beach where she was attacked and found a brown striped lizard, and quickly took the carcass of the brown striped lizard and sent it to Columbia University for further inspection. So the second iteration. Alan Grant and his crew. Alan Grant is a famous paleontologist who excavates dinosaur fossils with his partner Ellie Sadler. And they're funded by Hammett, and Hammett is a philanthropist who has a keen interest in dinosaurs and who has a stockpile of the largest collection of amber in the world. And he created InGen, a biological engineering company. And at the same time, Alan Grant and his partner was excavating a dinosaur fossil when he was suddenly given a X-ray of a lizard. With further inspection, Alan Grant realized that the X-ray was actually of a dinosaur. Alan Grant was so happy with the fact that there was a living dinosaur at the time, um, and was getting ready to go look for it. But he was then called by Hamid, his funder, and was called to come and look at his uh, biological preserve on his island Nublar, and though Grant was reluctant at first, Hamid offered him $60,000 to come and look at it. Then he submitted and came. As he and his partner went to the island, they were able to look over the plans of the island, and while they were looking over the biopreservation, they found a striking similarity it to being a zoo of some kind. And at the same time of them going to the park, uh, Biosyn Corporation, a rival corporation to InGen, was creating a plan to steal the dinosaur eggs through a person who's working at the park. So their iteration. Grant and his crew arrived at the park, and he he marveled at the dinosaurs that that roamed the earth once again. In addition to his crew, Hamid's grandchildren and a mathematician named Malcolm and a park technician, Nerdery, was also invited to the island. They went on a tour of the facility, and Grant and Malcolm questioned the safety and how the island was made possible. Though the questions were asked, none of them were totally answered because Hammond was annoyed by the questions. At the end of the tour, everyone met the doctor who was able to make this all possible, Dr. Wu, who engineered the dinosaurs. And Grant and Malcolm took the liberty to ask questions on whether or not if the dinosaurs were actually containable, and whether or not they were all if they were able to reproduce or not. Dr. Wu assured them that the facility was completely safe because of electrical fences and hundreds of cameras, and the fact that all the dinosaurs were engineered to be females. Soon after, they were going back to their hotels. The power was suddenly lost, and it was revealed that the inside person that Biosyn hired to steal the eggs was Nerdery, the park technician. And the park technician, while he tried to steal the eggs, and to cause confusion, he turned off the cameras, but he unknowingly also turned off the electrical fences. So the fourth iteration affected the iteration. So since Nerder accidentally shut down all the power of all the electrical fences, which allowed all the dinosaurs to escape their enclosure, during the confusion, Nerder took the eggs and tried to flee, but he was killed by a dinosaur. As Nerdery was killed, the power outage had left Malcolm and the park publicist Ed Regis and Hammond's two grandchildren, Tim and Lex, stuck in the electric-guided tour cars just outside the T-Rex enclosures. The T-Rex then broke through the dormant fences and ate Regis and severely injured the mathematician Malcolm. Grant and the children were forced to flee out into the park on foot. Then Malcolm was brought to the park veterinarian. Malcolm, while he was being operated on, warns that according to the chaos theory, things will soon get much, much worse. And while Grant was trying to escape, he found evidence proving that the dinosaurs were being bred because they were breeding because he found broken eggshells outside of the lab. And at the same time, Tim was tasked to get the electrical fences restarted, which he successfully did, and thus restoring the temporary power, which then allowed him to call the Costa Rican officials. But before Grant could leave, he needed to find out how many raptors escaped and how many were there. Thus, him and his crew went out to find the nest. Then finally, the Costa Rican officials came and rescued the remaining survivors and blew up the island. So the main message, there's two main messages. So irresponsible genetic engineering. The author alluded to the fact that irresponsible genetic engineering could cause major repercussions, such as dinosaurs that could kill and not be contained, and overall ethics of the entire procedure. Bringing back dinosaurs or any extinct species because of the fact that they're not able to live again in our environment, since their habitats are completely destroyed, and also of the profiteering of such re-engineered instinct animals, and also the over-reliance of technology. The book was made in the 90s, which was the peak of computers and automation for efficiency. And in the book, as it was, everything was automated for efficiency, and therefore no humans were really there to as a backup. And because of that, when the power went out, everything went to chaos, and nothing was able to be controlled. And also the fact that because technology is not doesn't is not able to produce human empathy or flexibility, it can cause a lot of problems. And this is proven by the fact that Y2K made people distraught by the fact that by the end of the century that all their computers were going to be gone, and which could have possibly destroyed the civilization, since we all relied heavily on computers. So how is this book relevant today? It's relevant today in the sense that cell regeneration technology. Recently, there was a discovery last year, discovery of a woolly mammoth cell, which was still viable, and uh, this could help revive endangered species and help balance biodiversity. It could also help human lifespans. It could help endangered species in the sense that it could bring back bees, which we severely need since they're one of our main pollinators, and it could balance biodiversity so our biosphere is complete. I think these are my citations.